right. A question for the boys. 3 years ago, I was given access to my stocks that were previously under a custodian account. Since then, I have spent $375,000 in 3 years.
I know where 300,000 went to.
I only have 150,000 left, right? So he started with almost 500 grand.
Jesus.
Or over 500 grand. Anyway, this was supposed to be for my retirement. I have told no one else about how I have spent. My grandmother and parents think I have actually made better investments with them and earned money instead of blowing it. I read that correctly. He didn't write it well. Before you ask, I spent it on nonsense. Rent, a new car, a trip to Europe, etc. How do I possibly explain this to my family without being seen as a piece of shit? My parents asked me for money a few times, but I told them I needed it for retirement, even though I was just buying random things. So he had over 500 grand. He spent almost 400 grand.
Why was the stocks in a custodian account?
And why were the parents turned 18 or 21 or something.
But I'm saying, so somebody had to put them in the account. Usually that's traditionally the parents, right? So the parents are now asking him for money, right? A couple times, or did ask him for money a couple times.
I'm filling in some gaps here, but my guess is that the grandparents gave some money to the grandkids.
Got it.
And mom and dad are like, hey, can I have some of that money? And he's like, I need it for retirement. But really, he's just blowing it on hookers and cars.
Yeah.
That's right.
How old is he again?
He didn't say, but since 3 years ago, he got access to his account.
21.
He might be 21 or 24
All right, so
now.
you're probably very young with like $175,000 left. Is that about right?
Fucking sounds great, dude. You're off to a good start.
Yeah, you're in a great place.
All right. So look, things could be going way worse. None of us here started out at 18 with $175,000. Okay. That would have been such a wonderful thing to like not worry about anything for the time in your life where you've got to like learn shit and get your stuff together and make like connections with people. You're fine. You're okay. You did a big whoopsie by throwing away $350,000. But the key here is to turn that into a lesson and to make $350,000 a very cheap price to pay for that lesson by applying what you've learned here to the rest of your life. You're so young that this is a good thing, not a bad thing. As far as your parents go, we're going to lie to them. You tied that money up in long-term investments. If you have to lie and make it seem that, I thought CDs were the thing. Everyone always said, I put it in a 20. They're in a 10-year
Put it in a 60-year CD.
No, tell them you threw it into a SEP IRA and you literally can't touch that till you're 60. Sorry. And ta-da. Here's a problem.
Get them off your back about that because A, that's your money. B, it's none of their business how you spend your money. C, you're a decent enough, smart enough guy to know you fucked up. Now, you want to make sure you're a $50 patron, first of all, because that's going to allow you access to the Discord where you can just private message me about like where you want to go from here.
Yeah, that's for a reasonable price.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, I charge per hour, but you can afford it, man. Look, you're young, you got $150,000.
Yeah, don't be stingy now.
If you give me $50 a month, I will explain to you how a fool and his money are easily parted.
If you give me, look, I'll say this: until that custodian released that money, you had $500,000. How about a new custodian? How about I hang on to this $150,000 and I see what I can do with it for a while? And you come and we touch base again in a year or two, and we
won't do worse.
I did this with my RuneScape account. He was supposed to boost my archery level. Never got that account back, so I'm
just got taken for a ride on RuneScape.
How old were you?
How old were you?
6th grade, and gave it to a 7th grader, and he was like, "Dude, forgot the password after I changed it." And I'm like, "Oh, all right." Valuable lesson.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Another life lesson learned. So you and this guy, similar boats.
Yeah. I lost a RuneScape account. He lost hundreds of thousands of dollars, but
I'm on a much different track than Kyle was. Like, I had a manager at Cisco tell me decades ago, probably, bad news doesn't get better with age. And there's a temptation, like when your project's behind schedule and stuff, to be like, "Oh, everything's going fine," and in your heart, you're like panicking and you're hoping you can catch up in the next 2 weeks before it like goes live or is due or whatever. That's not the move. The move is open and honest communication all the way through.
Why?
because everyone would rather know you're
who?
behind schedule
with
It's
who?
not their business.
It's not.
Well, in this case, it's the manager, right? You're running behind schedule. Bad news doesn't get better with age, but I found that to be true all over the place. Like if I'm a kid and I've got something to admit to my parents, you don't just
But he
sit
doesn't.
on that until due date. Well,
But
the thing
It's
is,
his money. Fuck
I
them.
disagree. Well, I hear you, but I think if he was honest, if he was like, you know what, I've learned, but I had 3 pretty stupid years.
Hey, mom and dad, I'm not very good with money. Just thought you should know. Oh, good to know, son. We'll be very careful around you from now on. And
we'll stop asking him for
your
money.
father's business associates wanted to work with you, but now that we know this, I don't feel comfortable
I
telling
think
them
that-
lies.
So now here's the deal. The situation you'd be putting him in is just lying for years and years and years.
One
Just
lie.
One lie that, but
The
told
money's tied
again
up.
and again and
It's
again.
my money, and frankly, I don't feel comfortable ever discussing that money again. It'll come between us and our love.
Perfect.
That money is locked away from my retirement. I won't even be thinking about it until I'm in my late 50s. So please, mommy and daddy, don't ask me for money.
That's how I would handle that
I,
as well.
I agree. I
There's
think
no
that
reason
you-
for me to let mommy and daddy know I'm a fuck up before I've even made up for it to myself.
But
I don't-
I'm pretty sure. Tucker, please go.
Sorry, I'm just because I think that you are looking at it how I would deal with it if it was my parents and this was this situation, because we have a different relationship, and I may just be reading between the lines and completely wrong on this, but it just seems due to the way this was set up that the parents were not in the know of pretty much any of this, and that's like none of their business. As long as he doesn't even have to lie, like what Kyle said. He can just be like, okay, well, that money is for my retirement and it's tied up. No, I'm not comfortable loaning it to you, and I'm uncomfortable discussing like finances with you because I think it would damage our long-term relationship. I think that that's an adult conversation to have that doesn't deflect from him understanding his mistakes, but also keeps the parents where they were 3 years ago, which is
I also premature
involved.
ejaculated last week, Mom. Just thought you should know all my failings.
I hear what you're saying,
like father,
but I
like
feel
son.
like the alternative to coming clean is to just carry on this lie about, oh, I've been making
How is
great
it coming
investments.
clean?
I've turned that 500.
Oh, he did say that. You're right.
Now.
If he said that, yeah. If he's talking about that, I forgot about that
Okay.
part. You're right.
He's
should
been
not
telling
be
him
doing
he's
that.
been making great investments, right? For all they know, he turned this $500,000 into $1 million by now, and he really has $100,000. And like, you're just gonna carry that on. You're just gonna
All
go
right,
into
now
your
that's different.
30s into your 40s, and yeah, now it's 7 million. Meanwhile, it's like 200,000. Like, dude, just
I see
fucking
what you
come
mean.
clean one time instead of maintaining this lie until your parents die.
No, better lie then. Okay. So if we have to,
They're on your
to
trail.
tell
You
them-
go, Mom, Dad, I'm gay. Boom, different discussion.
If it comes to it, fuck your dad.
You pull the
Nobody will
Kevin
see it
Spacey
coming.
maneuver. You go.
I don't think you had to fuck your dad to prove you were gay.
No, they weren't buying it, Taylor.
Yeah, I'll tell you this now. Those two in therapy, they're not talking about finances. Like, look at me, the master.
All right. So if you have in the scenario, if the case is that you have been bragging about winnings when you have tremendous losses, not the losses, just you threw the money away, you spent the money, then they might be like wondering why you're hoarding millions of dollars or something like that. But I still say this money should be spent frugally to support you while you get your education or start your business or whatever you want your life to be. You should spend some time and maybe talk to someone who's smarter than you about like how to apply that money and make that money like do a thing for you. Because I'm just saying, if you could get your education without working a side job, that would be great. And here's the thing. If you maintain the lie, there's no way you can get your education and ask your mom and dad for money now, right? So if you're going to come clean, you need to come clean and say, you know, have you read about crypto, mom and dad? No. Well, I really took a bath in the crypto market and I'm down to a third of my money left. I'm sorry. I was up to, you do the math.
Good. This is a good lie. I like this lie. I think
Of
this
course it
one's
is.
the best.
You got
of the two.
documentation.
Yeah.
You'd be like,
Look, here's where I
right
started losing money, Mom. 7,187,000. But I'm out. And I'm ready to start fresh. I like this one. It's up
And
to
I'm
you
out
whether
of
you're
crypto.
morally correct or you want to take the easy route. I'm not an angel or a devil. I'm just explaining your options.
But if you want your parents to respect you and look, and here's the thing:
His parents
And
are
you're
asking
not
him for money. They're going to
you're not
understand
worthy
bad
of
finances.
telling this lie and reaping its benefits if you haven't learned from your mistake.
That is true.
That's the only case when what I'm saying works. You're not worthy of telling the lie unless you have learned your lesson, because what the lie is doing, it's preventing them from not believing that you've learned your lesson and holding back. And like it's keeping them from 3 years from now when you're like, Mom and Dad, I want this business. Look at this. I'm putting my 150. If you jump in with your 25 for just the building permits, I can go. You know what they're going to say? I remember when you spent all your money on trips and women. They're going to be down for it if you do it that way. You got to learn from your mistake, though. You threw a lot of money away.
I would just tell the truth. It's easy. I would say, listen, Mom and Dad. By the way, keep in mind, Mom and Dad are asking their children for money. Just be like, I'm not very good with finances.
think he cares more about grandma.
I think it's a genetic condition.
What?
I tend to spend money I don't have. I learned from the best, Mom and Dad.
I'm a shopaholic.
Well, maybe it's not even that. Maybe Mom and Dad
Start
think
shaking.
the
You
kid.
haven't bought anything.
Maybe Mom and Dad see the kid living a certain lifestyle while saying his money is invested and think that, like, Jesus, you're making that off of like your interest or your dividends or whatever. Like, how much are you worth, son? If they're in that sort of mindset, we got to get them out of there. Because look, here's the thing: for all you know, here's what parents will do a lot when their kid is like that guy who's making millions or whatever. They'll throw themselves into irreversible debt, knowing they'll get the bailout from their kid. They won't ask you for the money because you wouldn't give it for them. You'd never give them $800,000. But if they drive up $800,000 worth of debt and say, son, I'm losing the house and all the cars unless you pay this off, you're going to do it.
That'd be a real piece of shit.
Tell the
Wow,
truth one
that
time.
is-
Don't maintain a lie for the rest of your life to your parents. It sucks.
Yeah, I see. I mean, man, that extra layer of having
Tell them when you make up for it. Tell
Makes
them
it
the
more
truth when you
difficult.
I
make
didn't
up
even
for it.
think that I didn't even put into perspective if you are going to Europe and you bought a new car and you're living this nice life and your mom's like, or your grandma's like, where's the money coming from? And you're like, I'm making so much money on my investments. I did this. You're dumb as shit. But I still maintain it's not up to the parents to know any of that. It's your grandma or whoever gave you the stocks in the first place that you need to come clean with.
I assume
Don't
they
let
were
grandma
dead.
die without coming clean. You're going to hate that.
Dude, you do not tell your look,
Tell her on her deathbed.
people are still
It's a happy median.
Right as
grandma.
she's, right as she's
She loves-
fading out, you add a little tag to the end of her life.
Yoinks her back in.
Wait till
well,
she's
hang on.
asleep.
I mean, look, if your grandma is the one if she's still alive, this
loaded
grandma
on
who's
morphine.
giving
Yeah,
you
it
all
says
this
my
money,
grandma
Grandmother's.
and parents.
You read the chat.
Yeah.
I didn't. I was just listening to you.
That's
You
the
should
last
go
paragraph.
back. Shit. Go to your grandma and tell her you lost all the money because it was stolen from you, and cry a lot.
No.
And tell her, look, I'm so ashamed. Here, yeah, you gotta get the best part. No. Tell her your mom and dad have bled you dry because they're ashamed to ask grandma for money, and you need grandma to like.
Listen,
Now
Mom and
we're-
Dad
now
are going to
we're
lie
on the
about
money.
this. Mom and Dad are not going to admit that I gave all this money to them.
Oh my God.
If
Listen,
you can start
you need to
infighting-
carve your parents out of your life,
Kyle,
wait
you're
for
muted.
grandma to die and reap the inheritance direct from the tap. You got to get them out of the way. Suckle the inheritance.
Get the fuck out of there.
Oh my God. That's
Man,
so
this is a
fucked.
tough. I'm having trouble even imagining spending that much money. That, like, he said cars,
He's
right?
spending about 10 grand a month.
That's
blowing.
th-
That's a
that's
lot.
a lot
cash.
of money to blow.
Yeah.
Like,
Tell them your father took all your money and for a Korean penis implant, and that he's tell grandma about it. And if she doesn't come up with $350, you're gonna kill yourself.
yeah, they're gonna take the implant back.
Let's
and the dick
circle
with them.
back. If Dad doesn't jump on the lie, fuck him.
Yeah.
You go to your parents and you guys team up to tag team and feed grandma dry. It's the only way. it's
You're weak,
familial
old
fit.
man. I'm gonna do whatever I want with you. This ends when I decide it ends.
But to sum up my advice, dude, you don't want to carry on.
100% honesty from Woody.
Yeah, it just
I say
because you're gonna
75
the lie is only going to get bigger and worse. It's going to grow. It's going to be this tangled web that you've woven. It
straight line, not a web. Straight line. I told you the lie. Woody's point is 100% honesty, and you feel clean, and it's all on the table. Jericho agrees with me. At least a 75% of a lie, admitting your faults, but maybe not admitting that you were foolish and awful with the money. Because I'm going to tell you, like, if a friend of mine, a family member, told me that they had blown their inheritance, I get that that's your money, but like, hey, what the fuck? Like now I'm more likely to need to help you down the road when that was secure. You were no longer my potential dependent, and now you're a potential dependent again because you were frivolous with your money. Like, I mean, like,
I think
I vote for 75% dishonesty.
Up
to and including 100% dishonesty.
No, Kyle, the way you said it, you suggested it almost like 75% on, or I guess depends honesty, on your definition of honest. They're like, definitely go in, and the fact he was bragging about it, that makes it way fucking harder to get out of this. I do think he needs to be honest about the loss of money, but Kyle's on the money with, don't say that you were going on European vacations and hookers, and they already know you did those things, but don't make it quite so obvious that was the bulk of it. You know, maybe lean
you're a
more
bad
into
person. That's the point.
Investing.
The problem here, dude, is you're kind of a bad person for what you did. You did some bad person shit. I'm not saying
around.
I'm not saying that. All right. I'm not,
I'm not saying you're a bad person. You literally just said you're.
I want to rephrase
person.
it though. I thought
these are the fans that pay us.
So it's not that you are a bad person, but you did the sort of thing that bad people do. And so somebody from the outside looking in who doesn't know you're a patron, who doesn't know you're a cool cat, they might think, "Holy shit, that's a bad guy." So
don't know the truth.
What I'm saying is, don't let your parents know you did a bad guy thing. Lie and say you lost your ass in crypto. And then they're still in the same shape where they know where the finances stand. They know that you technically lost the money, but they don't know how foolish and bad guy-ish you were. They don't need to know that. Like it's just like, look, every time I shit my pants, I don't fucking call my mom and tell her. She doesn't need to know how bad I am in life.
Yeah,
right?
I'd appreciate it if you stopped telling me.
Actually,
dude, I show you the stains. They're impressive.
it's the beginning of March.
A butterfly.
Please become a $50 patron so at the end of March, I can meet this foolish person and he can tell us the stories of the dumb shit he did with his money.
Dude, y'all need to
I bet there's some good stories. I
want to hear $375,000 worth of bad financial decisions.
I'd love to
that
see
is a whole nice.
He's got a xylophone.
Right, he could have had a house. And instead he has a car and some trips and hookers, and he just channeled his inner Hunter Biden for a couple of years, and now all money's gone.
You don't have Ukraine money, okay? The big guy isn't the president. You know?
Dude, that thinking about just empathizing and putting myself in this gentleman's scenario gives me stress of being like, oh my God, $350,000 I spent.
Wait,
well, that I would be so. I honestly, I would have felt so guilty. Yeah, that's 3.5 bathrooms. If you're Woody,
4 bathrooms.
That is, I could buy another house of similar quality.
Multiple tubs, Woody.
You know what I think really puts it? I think it really puts it into perspective when you understand that it's not $375,000 of income; it's $375,000 of savings. So just so you understand the magnitude of how much you fucked up, if you tried and saved 15% of your income, which is above what most people are ever going to be, 10% is is pretty good. I think 10% for the average
is what you should be targeting.
Okay, whatever. You target that. Brother, if you make 6 figures a year to save up for that, that's going to take you 20 years of work. You fucked up 20 years of work worth.
Yeah.
That's 20 years of normal person work. But you're going to be an overachiever because you fucked up so badly right here.
Yeah.
And you were a patron, and we set you straight.
If he was spending it on drugs,
easy.
If he's spending it on drugs, which who knows, maybe on his European vacations, there's no way this guy was dabbling in weed. If he was doing drugs, he was doing the real drugs.
Addiction.
Yeah.
I spend hundreds a month.
Oh, I spend
$200 a month on this weed.
I'm sorry. We got to
I've
go
never
to the
seen Interview with
question.
the
We've
Vampire.
neglected this
Yeah.
for far too long. Let me pull it up.
Yes, we have a patron who check out the Patreon if you'd like to submit a question. We sift through and find the good ones, and this one is a follow-up to one from a few months ago that we got. And Kyle, you can go ahead and read it. I think he calls it, he backs it up even.
Yeah,
Gives a little refresher.
It's the insane life help question, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
Hey, I am the guy who answered months ago and blew a ton of money from stocks. I have continued to blow my stocks, but to be honest, Kyle never messaged me back, so I've just been blowing more money. I've been in Europe for 3 months now. I believe this is his inheritance, something like that, a limited quantity that started to be as a rather large amount, but is quickly dwindling. For 3 months now, he's getting his Italian citizenship, apparently. And his question is, what does he do now? He has 110,000 left. I have spent hundreds of thousands on good times, but Woody or Kyle, how do I turn what I have left into something meaningful? I feel so lost. No family or friends, only escorts in which I know will never love me. I put 15,000 on the Reds money line last week. I think he means the Cincinnati Reds baseball team.
Yeah.
And came up big enough to last another year, sustaining his lifestyle. I know it won't last forever, though. I have always looked up to you guys as older brothers or parental figures, and I know the fans have done the same. At this
You
point,
gotta ride the Reds. Yes.
Ride the Reds, baby. Let's go. Big Red Army. At this point, after blowing hundreds of thousands of dollars that my grandmother gave me, I should say, what do I do? I have just over 110,000 left in my stocks, and I feel at a loss. I am not sure if any of you have heard the term passport bro, but it means to travel for sex. I feel as if I am relegated to that. I know eventually my funds will run out, but there's nothing in my life that will even come close to the satisfaction I feel when I'm doing hookers and blow.
My favorite part of the question. There's nothing that comes close to the satisfaction in my life I feel when I'm doing hookers and blow. All right.
It is incredibly sad to say, but Woody is the closest thing I have to a father, and Kyle is the closest thing I have to a brother. I need help. And it's incredibly sad to realize the closest thing. Well, come on, don't tear us down after you built us up. I'm not reading the back part. Oh, it's sad that I have to reach out to Kyle to help me, but what else could I do? Oh, it was either him or just blow my brains out here in Italy. I don't even know if I want to answer your question now. Maybe I'll give you bad advice. Maybe anyway.
Yeah, it was going to be good.
I think that you're still so. Granted, you sent this question in 30 days ago, so maybe you've gone through all of it by now on hookers and blow, which sounds fantastic, dude. I'm going to be honest.
Have the Reds been on a streak? We might be able to predict this.
Yeah, look into that. See how the Reds are doing. You should have bet on the Bravos, though, because that's they're going to win the series this year. But I would say that as long as you still have, no matter how much money you've got, that's more than most people start with, which, again, it's free money that came from nowhere. And there's no reason to think about what you've lost because it's gone. You need to think about what you have because there's a lot of people that are young like you. He's really young, I think, who have nothing to bounce off of. And that money can, like, I think I told you this last time. I don't know why you're saying I didn't answer your fucking question. That's your cushion that you sit on while you go to school or you get a trade or you open your business or you figure your life out. Hookers and blow need to stop, obviously. But you sound like a hookers and blow man. So look, maybe do what Mark Twain said and make your vacation your vocation. Okay? You like hookers and blow? Find a way to earn a living through hookers and blow. I'm not advising you do anything illegal. I'm just saying, for example, hookers and blow. Not literally hookers and blow, because I know you didn't literally mean hookers and blow. You meant like peanut butter jelly sandwiches and pay-per-view UFC events. They just get it.
Exactly. And
that's my advice to you. Blow. You know, like I'm not going to tell you to stop doing hookers and blow. You've spent $500,000 on hookers and blow. You fucking love it. All right. So become a pimp.
You need to be a drug dealing pimp.
A drug dealing pimp would
Make sure he loves it.
would be fucking clutch as shit, bro. If you were a drug dealing pimp, and let me tell you this, those two things, It's not like becoming like a fucking sand salesman who's also a fisherman. Those two things fucking synergize, bro. A drug dealing pimp, the whores love drugs. And what better way to control them than the chemical dependence? Listen, my man, this book writes itself. You don't need me here. Andrew Tate wrote the book on this shit. Get to work. You're already in Europe.
Step one, move to Romania.
You know why European women are so fucking hot by and large? Like the average European woman, in my opinion, is more attractive.
Skinnier.
It's not the Viking rape. That accounts for their strong genetics and their red hair. Well. The reason they're so attractive is because when they went around burning all those witches up, they burnt all the ugly hags. They went around, crooked nose, fucking wart on her cheek, fucking lazy eye, fucking patchy ass hair. That bitch is like 30 pounds too heavy. Round her up too.
Look at her. She's casting spells. She has like cerebral palsy.
She gave me the eye. Just round her up.
Look at her with her witchy, twitchy hand.
Exactly. If somebody had a fucking like hand deformity, you think they were casting a spell on you. Round them up. They rounded all of those ugly bitches up, and they, disposed of them. Unfortunately,
sent them to Australia.
Unfortunately, no, they burned them.
They sent them to Boston.
They sent them all to Boston, Massachusetts, home of the ugliest bitches this side of the Mississippi.
I would have gone the other direction. I would have thought that jealous people in those days would have been like, fucking Susie with her giant tits and ass. I'm going to accuse her of being a witch. Fuck her. And they thought there'd be some like vindictive witchery.
The world.
I'll be honest, Taylor, that's a bit of made up history, and I've used that both ways in the past.
Never let facts keep you from making your point.
I've used that to talk about why women are so ugly in a region of Europe before. I mean, you know what would happen? All the gals would get together. They see Becky fucking firm titties over there. And they'd be, Becky fucking said that she wished the crop would fail, and looky loo, there it fails. And she said she wished Tommy would trip, and he fell and broke his leg.
My lord, her tits move in defiance of God's law of gravity.
They fucking lie on her, and they have her fucking trounced up. Yeah, they bring her up on charges. She'd be gone. So I can use that. You can use that either way.
I want to answer the question.
Yeah, we should answer this guy's question.
There was a question?
Yeah. For the guy that wrote this or anyone who's in a vaguely comparable situation, if you know the road you're on leads to the wrong place, fucking turn. What kind of jackass is like, I can see myself headed to the pits of hell, but momentum. Nah, fucking turn, dick fuck. What?
Yeah.
You're over the top stupid on this. You've spent life-changing money on hookers and blow, and you're still going? Turn now. You still have $100,000 left. It's gonna grease the skids for the rest of your life if you use it smartly.
He's 100% right. That's what I'm talking about. That little, it's grease. That's that's a good way to think of it. And life gets fucking rocky sometimes, and it gets rusty sometimes. And money is such good grease to like, oh really? That was gonna ruin everything. $2,500. Poof, fixed it. Oh, life's over. $10,000. Poof, fixed it. All the time that kind of shit happens. And if you've got fucking 6 figures liquid over there, man, that's a lot of mana in your fucking back pocket to poof fix shit. Look, you can't fix a relationship. You can't make a woman not be a dumb piece of shit. And you can't make a friend not be a selfish jerk or whatever your problems might be in your real life. But money will fix that other shit. Sick dog, poof, not anymore. Your lawn look like shit. Nah, now it's pimping. Can't get any pussy. Car, house, working out. Fucking wardrobe.
Working out.
Wait. I don't think he needs instructions on how to convert cash into pussy. This is his subject matter.
Sounds like that's actually a huge problem.
It's like fucking laundering money back into pussy. Like right now, you're doing it the illegal way. You're going straight for the pussy with the dollars. You got to filter that money back through wardrobe and fucking a household and a car and a night and a
I'm
good
not
look.
Convinced your way is going to make the money last longer, Kyle. I think you'll go.
But then you have a house and a car and all the other things,
My dumb ass is like, he spends the money on himself.
Oh my god, not all those appreciating assets. No. Like that would be my thing. Like you can get a lot of pussy if you've got like other things than just paying straight up for it. Although, look, I've never liked prostitutes. I think I've just had the one or two or whatever I've told on here. I don't have any secret ones. And it's like, what an icky process. And like, if you don't have a good sense of humor and be jokey about it with her, it could be real dark. I'm glad mine didn't seem like a sad prostitute. She was like a happy, I'm getting paid kind of prostitute. I don't know why I made her sassy because she was blonde, but it, but you know, it didn't feel, it still, it was just like, this wasn't like a good time. You know, you're only here because I paid you the money and all, you know, and I like to hang out after sex. I always tell Woody, we've talked about the thing where these guys will just like get laid and like never talk to a girl again. And I'm like, why did you do that? Did you fuck a girl that was so atrocious that you don't want to be like near her anymore? Because I'd like to make a relationship with her of some kind, or at least we're in contact and like, hey, you want to hang out? Okay, cool.
Brilliant. I don't know why everyone doesn't follow that Kyle rule. Like,
I think they're fucking awful women.
Well, okay, all right. In that regard, it makes a certain sense. But I think there are people who are turning down slutty women when they could be repeat customers.
Mm-hmm. I think with this guy, his like, when you read that he was like, I don't think anything is as much fun as I'm having now with cocaine and prostitutes. Like,
yeah. It's more than
the dude already knows the answer in his head. Like the people who are happy and are not doing a bunch of cocaine and fucking prostitutes. Like you already know, in your head and like your soul and heart, whatever you want to say, like, you're not happy on this path. No. Like you already know that. You need to cut it out. You need unironically get really into Jesus rather than
that'll cost all that money
than hookers and blow.
No. Don't you give a dime of that money to Jesus.
Yeah, they're gonna fucking ask.
No, I didn't say feed it to the church. I said
the money.
Get it. Anything.
That's what churches do. They're cults that just fucking get the cash money out of you.
Why would
I give this guy a wee bit of advice?
You guys are too Reddit brained. If you hear I'm addicted to cocaine and prostitutes, and you go just do something else, maybe go to church or something, and you're like, no. Like
that's why my advice not Reddit brain. It's the time we tried to join the church, and they were like, "Hey, we like to do our deposits by you giving us your fucking routing number and bank password, and we withdraw them automatically." And as we see fit.
That's absurd. Don't give your bank. Yeah, don't give your bank account info to church people. Don't do that. But like literally anything would be getting super into working out, getting super into some hobby, paramotoring, skydiving. Okay, you have enough to get into something fun. You already know that you're miserable and depressed going down this path of artificial happiness that clearly isn't working if you've dumped hundreds of thousands of dollars into it. And if you every day you do it more, you're going to regret it more, and you're going to drive. Oh, I got another fucking prostitute for $2,000. How am I going to make myself feel better about doing this again? Another prostitute tomorrow night with cocaine. Do you record? Like, do you make pornos with these prostitutes? Because that would make so much more sense if you were let's say you're hooking up with like the creme de la creme of European prostitutes. Man, if you had an OnlyFans where they
No, you know what?
Where they agreed to like be filmed and everything, and you could have like this week, like that could be part of your OnlyFans. I don't know if anybody does that, but like, what if there was a dude who was like, this week, you guys get to pick who I bang. Here's the whole like fucking whore list of in Uzbekistan. Here's like 500 women. Y'all pick one for me to bang. All right. Donate. If the donations hit this amount, you guys get to pick what I do to her. Like, is there an OnlyFans like that?
So Kyle wants you to parlay prostitution into sex.
Dude, I've been trying so hard to make his vocation his vacation. Like get him fucking synergized.
It's genius,
baby.
Really. Yeah.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Like, you know how Only Use Me Played is like, cocaine. Hey. The first shot I'll do for $5. The second shot I do for 10. The third shot I do for 20, etc. You need to do that with cum shots.
You're gonna need a supplement to help you with all that.
Maybe church was the wrong path.
Here's the thing: you get your OnlyFans going. We will promote it. We want to see 3 videos that are already uploaded. We will promote it. We will give you product. We will then be able.
Hold on, we don't know what this guy looks like.
We will then be able to display.
This guy does not look good.
Pending visual ocular pat down.
Sight unseen. You want to promote his porn? We need to.
Sight unseen. It's a hypothetical. Clearly pending. FPS Productions, 2023. But what we just screw y'all out of it. but you know, like then you could take our product, you could up your game, and the fans would be able to see how much of a difference that it made, and you know, you could pay us for those services with some of the much money that you have, the many monies, and it could be a wonderful thing for both of us. You could have your dad and your brother watch you know, blow loads on on Romanian whores, you know? And we, your dad and your brother could come together to give you that help you need to get your jism to the turgid mass of disgustingness that we like to see out of our boy when he's blasting Romanian whores. You know,
100%.
like we want to welcome you into the family. Is what I'm saying.
This guy, he should do hookers.
We
and
want
blow
you to be
during the
cool
hangout.
guy of the year.
Cool guy of the year.
That's
I mean,
I'll make a trophy.
I want to get
goddammit.
Wolf. What's your advice for this gentleman?
Mine.
I'm kind of scared because Jesus, after those. So here, what I would recommend is there's a very large percent that this guy is probably not that attractive. I don't think he's going to want to see himself on camera. I think he needs to go to
Mask it up. It's all good.
He needs to go to a third world nation of some kind, South America, or somewhere where his dollar can be. He could live like a king. He needs to use that 100K, buy a small hotel or something that he can get some gains from, and like a regular influx of money before it all runs out and he's rock bottom. And he needs to go dry, like drop the drugs, he needs to go someplace where it's going to be really hard to get. South America might not be the best idea, but he needs to go somewhere. He needs to go somewhere where he can get dry.
you in pesos or cocaine.
I keep picking the Coke.
That could work too.
I have never
but
not
he
chosen Coke, to be honest.
invest that money
And I'm
so he can
hungry.
start building back, or he can get a regular return from it so that he can live off of something, because he's going to go broke real fast if he hasn't gone already. He needs to buy some real estate, hotel with like 4 or 5 rooms that he can make a little money from and chill out and sweat out the drugs, and either end up in, you could also go your route and, move to Thailand where his money's going to stretch more and get his own roster of female employees.
Ladies.
If that's what he wants.
Air quotes for the ladies part. We're in Thailand, baby. Let's go.
That's what I'm saying. That's, he could buy some lady boys and ladies and
get you a fucking
turn that
posse
money
of
over.
fensters.
There you go.
Cat boys everywhere, baby. Let's go.
But again,
dude, that's what he is, the cat boy king of Thailand.
Yeah.
He's walking around with
do the whole Tiger King persona, but you got a bunch of cat boys, a bunch of Asian cat boys like following you around. You got the hat on. This is going to save you financially.
But yeah, I think he just needs to clean up and try and turn it around.
Yeah,
because he's not going to last. Not going to last, bro.
Yeah, no.
I mean, if he's
bro, like, it's not
out of his
retirement time.
mind,
It's used this as a springboard. Think of it as springboard and cushion money, right? It's the money that gives you that little pep in your step that nobody else has. The other people can't put in as many hours as you can, because you have money to take care of the things that they spend their time on. Like you know what I mean? Like if you don't have time to make dinner, you can order it, right? Like that's what that money's for, frankly.
Yeah.
So that not so that you can just eat in, so that you can keep working and not stop to make food. You know what I mean? Like you can outwork your competition because you've got $110,000 in your bank account.
That is a lot of money to have liquid. Like
depends where you are.
It was.
It was.
Yeah, does it go further or not as far in Italy, would you imagine?
Oh, Italy's notoriously cheap.
Unless you go
it's incredibly expensive.
I mean, I don't know.
Is it?
I don't know. Cocaine here
Europe's
seems
more
like
expensive.
cocaine seems cheap here. From like we've talked about it before, we don't really know, but like it's not like crazy expensive. Like, what's it cost in Italy? Is he spending like $10,000 a week on cocaine in Italy? Like that's. I don't know. Well, anyway, bro, I think we gave you lots of good advice there. You take your pick, mix and match, frankly, get yourself some whores and go to South America. Get clean and get a hotel. But if you get a hotel, you definitely got to get them whores in there. Like, so some of these ideas synergize together better than others. I think a hotel with whores and cocaine in South America, and fucking ding, ding, ding. All of a sudden, you're rolling like 8 D28s at a time. You're taking the highest roll every turn. Nothing but crit hits. That's how you synergize. So good luck to you. And look, if anyone would like to ask us a question, this is the perfect time to click the Patreon down below. The month's rolled over. Here we are at the eve of a new month. Did you guys see the moon last night? I texted you like a teenage girl. Hey boys, go out and look at the moon.
I see your text till this morning.
And nobody fucking replied. I'm out there looking at it. I was so ready to be like, I'm looking at the same moon as you, little bird.